back again on a beautiful day. This week has been amazing, so I'm not going to miss out on chances, to come out and talk to you guys. Another beautiful day of 25 degrees. I know back in India, 25, 28 is normal. Suddenly people get excited by this, and it's a thing. I know. I used to find it very, very silly that people talk about, oh my god, the weather is so good today. Come to my hometown and you will see 25 degrees 12 months a year. Okay, go do your stuff, right? But at the time we take it for granted and we don't really focus too much on the weather. But here it's a sudden new vibe. It's a fun vibe. So what's up, guys? How are you doing today? Welcome to my new vlog. So what do you want me to talk about today? Go ahead, tell me. So maybe I'll talk about driving a bit, right? So driving in Canada. Maybe I'll make more videos on driving, as there'll be a lot of content, but just a high level overview today, right? So folks drive on the right side of the road here, and most of the cars are automatic here, like automatic gear, so you don't have to focus too much on the gear and first, second, third, fourth. So you don't have to worry about it. So the focus more is on the rules, right? They want to ease out the driving part, like the physical driving part, like knowing the car and stuff. And they want you to focus more on the rules, which makes sense, because at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? More than anything else. So automatic gear, all you need to do is brake and accelerator. That's it, right? So it's fairly simple, just like driving your two-wheeler, right? The Activas of the world, Dios of the world. So it's just like that. It's converted into a four-wheeler. So yeah, it's fairly simple. In terms of rules, yeah, I mean, it's heavily compensated, right? So if the physical car aspect is easy, definitely. The rules part is little tricky, because there are a lot of rules here, and you need to follow every rule. Like for example, simple things, right? Like a stop sign. If there is a stop sign, you need to stop no matter what, right? For 3 seconds, look around and then drive, right? You cannot ignore the stop sign. Two types of stop signs. One is like stop only for you and or in that direction, and the second one is stop all way. So stop all way means all the 4 directions it's a stop, right? Which means now it becomes tricky, right? So stop all way, you need to really focus on you need to give way, right? The person who came in first at the intersection. So I typically face this issue, right? When all 4 cars stop at the same time, then then the human stuff comes out, right? The eye contact, the hand movement, that okay, you can go, because this at the same time is confusion. You start, that guy also starts, and then based on the speed it becomes tricky, right? So That's why you need to be a little careful when it comes to stop, all way, and all the cars at the same time at the intersection, right? So things like that, you need to coordinate if it's at the same time. And yeah, what else? I mean, there are a lot of things, but left turn here. Yeah, left turn is something I want to talk about, right? Because I mean, not fully okay with it. The reason being, I mean, I understand the bottom line. Like if it's less busy, right, then it makes sense. So the concept of left turn is you don't have advance left turn or advance, green all the time, right? That means it's a preference for you, right? It's a free left turn. So now, like right now, I'm taking a left turn. That's how the context, right? So what are the factors which go in a left turn, right? So let me talk about it. One is the priority, or what do you call that? I forgot. The yield, right of way. Yeah, the right of way is for the incoming, right? Traffic from the other side. So you need to give way for them, right? If you see it's safe to take a left and there's nothing coming on the other side, then you take a left. This is one. And second is you need to focus on the pedestrians also. So when yours is green, the pedestrian signal also is opened up. So you need to focus on these two aspects when making a left turn, right? And same thing for the right turn. Right turn, they say it's easy, but it turns out to be even more difficult in a crowded area, right? So what happens is if it's green, then it's straightforward. You just need to look for pedestrians and take your right turn. But if it is a red, right? So if it is a red, what happens is you still can take a right turn most of the times. Otherwise, they'll indicate that you cannot take a right on red. But otherwise, you need to focus on, of course, the pedestrians coming from the opposite side, right? Like cutting you. So you need to focus on them. They are priority. And then if it's clear, then you need to focus on the traffic coming from the left or right? So that's another thing that you need to consider when it comes to right turn. So it's a tricky business. Why? If it is too crowded, like core city area, you will have people crossing all the time. You'll have traffic all the time. So literally you need to lower your windows, talk to the people that you're taking the turn. You need to work with them and help each other, right? If you're stuck there for a long time, then yeah, you need to work with them. So that's how it is for the right turn. Yeah. And then what else? Some of the things already exist everywhere, but it's less focused upon. For example, the dotted line versus a solid line, right? So dotted line is you can pass, like overtake, and then solid line you cannot. So simple things like that. And what else? Yeah, speed limit you need to follow. Yeah, one thing I would like to mention, not many know or aware, it's a good information. So on a highway, right, there are 3 lanes. Typically, if it is like a middle lane, is considered to be a driving lane, right? What does that mean? it's the standard, like the default lane that you should be if you're driving straight for a long time. The leftmost lane is considered as a passing lane. You cannot stay there for long. That means if you want to pass or overtake, right, somebody in the middle lane, you can pass from the left lane, and then you can come back. Like if it's a slow traffic, somebody is driving slow and stuff like that, then you can overtake, and then you have to actually come back to the driving lane, middle lane. You cannot just be there in the passing lane all the time. So this is one of the few facts that people are aware, right? Because they think it's a fast lane and they can be there all the time going 20 kilometers above the limits. That's not how it is. And the rightmost lane is, you can say it's a slow lane, right? But it's also a lane where you take exits. Okay, so if you want to take exit very soon, right, then you need to be in that lane. So usually it's a slow lane, slow traffic, or if you want to take exit. Oh, the sun is on my face, you guys can't see. It's very sunny, guys, I told you, right? So yeah, that's the thing about the right lane. So not many people are aware about these basics, right? It's a good to know. It's not like that you have to know all this, but it helps actually. If you know this, then it helps you to make if there is too much traffic, right? Sometimes you would what do you call? Yeah, if it is too much traffic. Now let's see if you can see my face properly. Yeah, this is good. I was driving westbound, guys, so it was sunset time, and the whole sun was on my face. So now it's good. Yeah. So what I was saying is, what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, it helps that you're aware of these rules, right? So that, and you see also people doing that, like fast lane. Why are people going very fast? This is the answer, but they don't know that they have to come back. They'll drive long stretches on that lane, right? On one, like 20-30 kilometers over the limit. So that is something that people do. And for highway, there's one more. I mean, I don't know if it's a written thing or not, but it's like a followed thing. Generally, people follow it for obvious reasons. Otherwise, you will face difficult situations on the road. Like if there are trucks. I don't know, dedicated truck lanes. I don't think so. There is dedicated truck lane. But generally speaking, if the truck is driving in the middle lane or wherever, right lane, then, and if you're slower or things like that, then you need to make way for the truck, right? So you need to match up. I mean, not match up, but you need to be considerate about the truck's speed. Okay, so for example, it's 100 kilometers, whatever, highway. If the truck is at 107, which is still okay, and you are driving at 95, 98, then the trucker could get annoyed, right? So things like that you need to consider, because they are driving for long hours, coming from different parts of the city or even different cities. So they tend to get annoyed and they will flash, lights on you, or they will honk you, or for me they had even cut very closely. They passed me, and they were very close to me while they came back to my lane, right in front of me, that too on a rainy evening, and it was very dark. So then you realize, like, what did I do wrong? Like, why are these guys behaving like this? Then when you interact and talk to others and just inquire, because you're not doing anything wrong, you're driving normally, speed limit is fine. Some drivers are irrational, like the examples I gave, right? They are 110 maybe or 112, and they are pushing you, honking you, and then to go over. That's something you should not, follow. Tag along with them, because that's not right. So what you need to do is you need to keep your calm, right? And it shouldn't be like it's very, and you shouldn't be like it's you're too slow. Okay, I'm saying if you're like on the dot, like 100 or 102 or whatever, then it's okay. You don't have to get intimidated by them. It happened with me. So that's the thing. On the road, you need to get along with the conditions. Nobody will tell you this. It's all about, when you drive, right? You need to get along with people driving. You'll have different. If it's irrational or unreasonable, then I understand. There are people who are, unreasonable. But I'm talking generally speaking, right? Most of them are okay. So just tag along, right? Go with the flow. It should be okay. And this is what you learn on the road, right? It's not something you learn in tests, or it's not a written rule, right? So like this, there are many examples, right? I don't remember everything right now. I just recall that, so I shared with you. And what else? Oh, there's another. This one I like. It's a community thing, right? Like, if there is an intersection which is not like a main intersection, okay, it's just a side road, and if somebody is coming from the other side, wants to take a left, and there is a long line of traffic in your lane, it's a signal or whatever, right? You need to have enough space for that guy to make a left turn, right? Because you're going to get stuck for a while there. His lane is clear, and he's the only one, or maybe two cars, wanting to take a left, and you cannot block that intersection, right, for him to make a left turn. In some areas they clearly mention do not block intersection, but if you don't know, then this is something that you need to follow. Otherwise sometimes they get angry that you're blocking the intersection. Sometimes they are okay, but when you give way, it's like a courtesy, right? It's also a courtesy. So they show hand and kind of thanking you that you gave me way, right? Something like that. You need to communicate accordingly, right? So these are the other rules of the road that you need to follow. And then what else? Okay, guys, I think for now I can think of only so much. So I'll see you guys in the next video with more information. These are all on the fly stuff, okay? I'm not planning or anything, right? So it's good, it's random ideas, random thoughts which come to mind, and I just share. So stay tuned. Bye bye.